fuck's sakes.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the bi-weekly live stream. Man, it has been a depressing couple of, weeks now in the crypto markets. Lots of red out there, lots of doom and gloom, lots of FUD on crypto Twitter. On the other hand, I'm looking at this as a blessing, as a gift. I don't think anybody on this call is thinking the market is over. I think it's one of those.
It's over. What are you talking about?
30% pullbacks we regularly get during a bull market, and these two grumpy Gusses over here are all nothing but doom and gloom. Me, on the other hand, I'm out here all smiles. This is a gift. This is a blessing. It's an opportunity. This is probably the last best opportunity we're going to have this cycle to stack up on our high conviction plays. And these guys are bearish right now. They're bearish right now. They're whining and complaining when they should be DCAing and getting excited for more opportunities to pick up and fill their bags.
Whoa, why are you talking shit, bro? What the fuck is this?
I'm just preaching the truth right now. I'm trying to let the people know that, we all, even the best of us, even the great Andrew and Jan, sometimes the markets get to you. Don't let your emotions rule your trades, though. Stick with your plans and always evaluate things with a clear mind here. Don't be bearish. Be ready.
Man, we know what will happen on September. It's a fucking dumpy ride. It's good to take positions eventually, but yeah, I'm bearish.
September generally pretty bad month. I mean, it's very low returns usually red. On average, it seems like out of the whole year, on a 10-year trend here, September generally is pretty shit. But you do have weird odd years. The last 3 years have been kind of okay, but we'll see what happens. We're still, it's only day 2 in September, like the month just started, so we still have a full month ahead of us. And we got some stuff coming up this week. We got Jolt Jobs openings coming out tomorrow. Then on Thursday, we got the ISM stuff coming out. And then on Friday, which is going to be the big one, it's going to be the non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate. So these are going to be some pretty big event, especially on Friday. Expect a lot of volatility into the event and leading up to it. So we'll see how that turns out.
What do you guys expect on the numbers? My estimation is that unemployment will be skyrocketing. Will be negative news, but I'm open.
No, I think you kind of proved my point here. We know September is going to be bearish and full of volatility, and now you guys are sad and surprised that September is going to be bearish and full of volatility. It's like we knew this was coming. Like, why? I get it. There's red in the markets, but this isn't surprising anybody. This isn't a shock to the system. It's not like we out of nowhere crashed 30% when when Black Swan event. It is. Smooth sailing.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's just things are slow. I mean, it's I'm not crazy sad or anything like that. It's just just take things slow. We'll see how things go here.
Me and Andrew love money. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. I get it. It's a lot more fun when markets are pumping and numbers are going up. But this opportunity to make that number go up, be a bigger number that goes up. I mean, it's we don't get too many chances in a bull market to get some fresh capital on some great positions.
Yeah. I would ideally just let everything rinse, and then we can get some setups coming in, and it's going to be a volatile month because even next week we got PPI, core PPI coming out. We have the inflation rate coming out. So a lot of macro events, a lot of econ stuff coming out, and then obviously mid-September we got the Fed rates coming out. So they are forecasting 4.25, so they are forecasting a drop. So let's see, that could be our saving grace or death sentence. So the next little while, for the next 2-3 weeks here, can be quite volatile. We got a lot of data prints to kind of keep our eyes on, and then we'll see how things kind of pan out from there. If we jump over to charts, Equities starting to get a little bit heavy, in my opinion. We've been consistently touching these like moving average supports and holding, but we are starting to get a little bit closer and closer to these lows now. Ideally, we don't lose these recent lows, but as you can see, things are kind of looking a little bit weak. But today it was a long weekend for the U.S., so the U.S. market is coming back online today. So hopefully we can get a nice big perky up market here and reverse. Otherwise, if we do start breaking down, we do start losing these lows, then that is going to confirm these kind of big double tops, and double tops are not ideally what we want to see. So we'll wait and see how the market opens up tonight in the U.S. Hopefully, these moving averages can continue acting as supports, and we can keep this uptrend alive. So if the equity starts breaking down pretty hard, I do think that crypto will probably follow suit. So ideally, equities hold up here, and we can kind of hold. Looking over at crypto, looking a bit better than equities. We talked about this reload zone, the 61.8 to 78.6 area. It's quite interesting to see that we are holding. We did bounce out of this yesterday, so I made a nice little post about like, hey, look, we're finally in the reload zone. This is generally the areas where you want to look for long. So if you're kind of a levels type of guy trader, then obviously 61.8s are pretty nice to hit. So if you were leverage trading, you could have tried to enter there. I do like the fact that we are getting these bullish divs trying to come in right now as well. Bull divs on MACDs are generally good, and then we are quite oversold as well. So momentum-wise, we have the bullish signals. So like it feels like momentum-wise, things want to push up. Structurally, we don't necessarily have the most cleanest double bottom here, but technically that is kind of a little double bottom. The only thing is like the right leg is a bit lower, so it's more of a V bottom, I would say. And I was talking to kind of like my trading mentor, and it seems like we may not get a clean double bottom. Like we might just kind of like start getting these like nasty V bottoms, because I think a lot of people are watching them now. But if we're lucky, we kind of get a nice little W kind of thing, and then give a nice little structural bottom here. Otherwise, I think we might just come back up, tag these moving averages, and then kind of flop back down. But it's hard to say right now. I think for the bull case, like definitely can see like the momentum shifting. But again, I generally like to wait for structure. So still waiting on some kind of structure in my case here. But I do like that we bounce out of the reload zone. The reload zone is holding for supports, generally where you want to kind of see the bull step up. So now we just have to wait and see how the market resolves here. Watch how the U.S. market behaves. Again, if the equity starts falling off a bit too hard here, then I would imagine crypto also kind of starting to fall off.
So
the only thing is we are quite oversold, so that's always a good indication that like, hey, maybe the selling pressure needs to chill out. And then the bullish MACD is kind of like what I'm really leaning on right now.
It's Web3 Nate prediction here. We just got a short-term bottom over the weekend. September is going to start off bullish. We're going to get a nice bounce here up to 114, 116, kind of the range you pointed out there too. But going to be a little bull trap, and then kind of volatile and back down through into October. And then end of October, November, away we go, boys.
Yeah, usually October is a good month. Like even if you look at the historical charts, like October is usually the biggest yields. Also, like I performed the best during October, picking up bottoms and year after year. So like the 114 area, that's about 50% of this current range. So if we are to dead cat bounce from here, I am eyeing that 38.2 for stop area, which is right against these previous highs. And then ultimately, you got the short reload zone within this range here as well. So probably got to keep your eyes on that and just see how the levels kind of hold and withhold here. I do still like this 4.669 level as pretty big resistance. It also lines up with the 88.6 now off of this range. So, once things do start coming back into these areas, we should kind of consider, resistance and whatnot. But still got a bit of a ways here. So I definitely do feel like the bull side is trying to take over here. So don't really have a setup for myself here yet. But yeah, I do see, some bullish action here. Ethereum. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the ETF flows are pretty strong still. I know that we've been covering lately, but at least if you don't take yesterday, the ETF flows on ETH were pretty strong. Yesterday we actually saw quite big day of redness, 164 million. But yeah, I think overall, like it's time to get good opportunities. Look at the setups, as you said, and I think
Yep.
still like after September 15, after September 18, I think that's when usually the market changes and we start seeing some more greenness in the market. I'm pretty exhausted with the redness at the moment.
It's okay. I mean, we had a pretty strong summer market, right? Like people forget that. Like we had a good 2-3 months there. Pretty much since like April. We said that summer market was going to be bullish. We had a bullish summer. Maybe the last final week in August was a little bit weak, but things have ran up quite a bit since, right? Like if you look at June, like pretty much since April, like that's a pretty big rally. Like it 200% on ETH, like that's insane. Like it makes sense for things to kind of chill out, calm down a bit. September seasonally is when things usually do. So overall, it's not too bad.
Yeah. And what are we talking about here? Oh, I only made 200% in 3 months. Oh,
on a
like,
big
come on.
fucking blue chip, that's pretty big.
We're expecting 1000%. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get
This is
there.
crypto, not some fucking TradFi shit. Where you only get
Well,
100.
yeah. Like
Bro,
the
we're so jaded.
no, well, it's because like we're mostly in altcoins, and the altcoins didn't really perform that well. Like I will admit too, like the altcoins have been kind of like shitty. But if you're in Bitcoin and ETH, like hats off to you. Doing pretty well here. But okay, so looking at ETH, like we do have these nasty double tops confirmed, right? Almost like a triple top here, and we're pretty much getting a moving average squeeze here right now. So we're in a very tight spot. So if we lose these lows, essentially we're pretty much cooked, and then we'll probably going after these lows. Losing these moving averages is not ideal. If we can break above, then we can kind of resume hopefully and continue on. The only problem is like we are facing a bearish divergence here right now. Not the most bullish signal, but as long as like we don't lose, like keep making lower lows here, then ETH could still have a chance. I don't see any structure here just yet, but if we can start consolidating and putting some kind of W here, then obviously the bull case is kind of back. But as you can see, we're in like a really tight range here, and this is like pretty much like either we're going to be bullish, we break above, or we're going to be bearish, we break below. It can go either way. It's pretty much a coin flip here at the moment. So just really watching and seeing how these levels resolve here. If Bitcoin keeps breaking out, continuing higher, maybe ETH will follow suit as well. But again, we're really waiting for a lot of these data prints to come out. I think market's also waiting for the Fed rates. Maybe the market front runs it, maybe it doesn't, who knows. We just have to wait and see what the structure comes out.
Is there anything out there, any altcoins out there that you think, actually look pretty decent right now, or is it pretty much just death across the board?
Yeah, there's some decent looking stuff out there. Like full setup wise, maybe not so much there, but like partial setups I can see. Just wanted to see like the CME gaps are always good levels to kind of watch for Bitcoin here. We did fill that gap just recently, so nice little bounce there. Looking at the indexes, we got V bottoms right now. What we want to see is W's to kind of give us that nice little confirmation that like, hey, okay, we're ready to rock. So right now, I think it's more so just kind of like a dead cat bounce. So obviously, dead cat bounce is not really the best kind of scenarios in terms of long-term longs, more so just kind of swing trades. But if you look at most crypto, like, looking over the matrix, still looks kind of like nasty. We are confirming more M's than W's right now. Nice big M on Link. Even Binance Coin's trying to put in some kind of double tops. So, a lot of these names are still up in terms of ranges. So I do feel like, if you're looking for longs, you're kind of better off trying to wait for things to come back down a little bit lower. But if you got names like Maker, like this is one that I actually did buy, where you got these W's starting to come in, then you have a bit more of a reason for a trade. So Maker, for example, here, ideally, I wanted to get into this reload zone. This location is kind of more ideal where I would like to long. But I did see like the double bottoms come in this morning, which I liked. We do have these big bullish divs on MACD, and we were quite oversold. So it's a partial setup because location-wise, it's not really in the zone that I would like to be hunting, the reload zones, right? 61.8 to 70.6. But we got structure, we got momentum. Bitcoin, ETH starting to perk up. So I figured like maybe kind of a swing trade would be kind of decent here rather than like trying to hit our doubles like our usual trades. So I put on a little position on Maker here. Figured it might be decent. And then, for most names, we're just waiting for things to come back down into levels. We had these big breakouts coming back down, looking at these reload zones for possible trades. Jito, same thing. If you just kind of hunt these reload zones, it's kind of like all we're looking for is, that double bottom was pretty nice to hit. I didn't see that before. And then looking for conditions like oversold conditions or bullish divs, really waiting for these full setups. Because right now we're just kind of like most names are just kind of sideways ranging, or they're just slowly bleeding out. So I don't really feel comfortable buying a lot of things right now. I think we still have to wait for a lot of names to just kind of chill out. Like even like looking at Link, for example, we got bearish divs, oversold condition, overbought conditions, double tops, triple tops. So when I see stuff like that, it's hard for me to justify longs and being too overly bullish. But again, there's certain names that are still trying to rally. Sol's trying to still break out here. But there's no royal setups for me. I think we just kind of like wait.
I think the problem with Sol is the inflation. Like overall, the market cap is already bigger than the last cycle, but we still are not close to all-time high.
The problem with Solana is that there's zero value being brought to the chain. It's all meme coin Jeet rugs, and the trading number of traders and trading volume has plummeted from, I think we looked at the chart last like Friday, back into this year or into last year, beginning of this year. It's over 8 million unique traders, trading wallets a day on Solana. And now there's like less than 1 million. They've lost 90% of their traders because everything on that chain has been a value extraction. They don't have any real like promising utility plays. It's all stuff trying to facilitate new meme rugs. Until they change their narrative, until they start bringing.
Lost. We just lost him. Fuck out of here, you American.
Classic.
But okay, so for the most part, like I do see potential bull divs starting to build.
Oh, are we back?
Yes, sir. We're getting back.
We back?
Yo, you're back.
Is it just me here?
No, you're.
Bro.
Can you hear us?
Typical American.
Anybody there? We lost
yes.
it.
Can you hear us?
Yo, you guys there?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And we're back. All right.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Like it never happened.
What the fuck, man? Okay.
That's that.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, a lot of these alts, like, we're starting to get back into bottom of ranges. We're starting to get, these bullish divs starting to come in and getting closer to oversold conditions and stuff. So really, like, we're getting closer and closer to certain kind of pivot maybe, right? But we're still a bit of a way. we still have to wait for, double bottoms, bullish divs, oversold conditions, and location. So we're getting closer and closer. I think it's still a little bit too early, but like I said, there's like certain trades that might pop out, like Maker, for example. Then you can try to hit it. Like actually, I bought some ENA. This is a bit of a risky trade. It's not the best location, but bullish divs. I'm a big fan of bull divs, double bottoms. 38.2s are holding, so maybe this is like a trend continuation type setup if we hold here. But looking for just like these quick little 2-to-1 swing trades on these kind of names. But those are kind of like the only two that I kind of like today. For the most part, most names are just kind of, again, just waffling sideways, taking their sweet ass time. Just gotta wait. Ideally, yeah.
To be honest, I think the biggest opportunities at the moment are the ones that are doing some revenue. Like if you guys are doing some heavy research, use DeFi Llama to look for coins that are actually doing some revenue, and start targeting them. I think one of them that we've been following for a while is Tron. I know that people hate Justin Sun, but goddamn, if you look at the TRX, it's been going just up and up and up. Obviously, it's not a good place to buy here yet.
Yeah, like you could have tried to take that trade. I posted, but essentially you would have been just stopped out at scratch right there. But yeah, I mean, don't touch that shit. Like you got nasty bearish divs, you got oversold condition, overbought conditions. It's starting to get these weird double tops. So I mean, you can look at 38.2s kind of areas. These are your first stops usually.
But yeah, like my point is, look at chains that are doing revenue. I think overall long term they will be really good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's about it really. I think September is playing out the way we're gonna expect. Things are just gonna get washed a little bit here and there. Certain things are gonna pop. It's gonna be pretty volatile, I think. So just you got to be very disciplined in terms of like your setups. Don't rush into trades. Don't just buy things blindly. The setups will present themselves. So it's just a matter of time. And I do think we're getting closer and closer on a lot of the alt names. And then even with like Bitcoin and ETH, like these ranges are trying to resolve here right now. So let's see. Let's see what we get.
Well, if you agree with that advice, or even if you just want to tell Jan the Bear that it's going to be okay, give us a like, give us a
new name.
Drop us a comment. Let them know that everything's going to be all right. That we'll survive September, and soon enough, markets will be green again, and there'll be a big old smile on both their faces.
No, exactly. October is going to be a fun month. Like I always love buying stuff in October, November. Those have always been my best months out of the entire year. It's just boring because like you're just waiting for like most of the year, just sitting and waiting. But generally, like the fall is like when I get the most excited for the markets. So yeah.
Well, FOMO, NOMO. Let's get into some news stories here. What do you boys say?
Sure.
Talk about some. Let's see what do we got on the agenda here. Let me find the right. Here we go. All right, start now. We got. I mean, come on. How can you be bearish? Look at this right here. This is the Labor Day prices of Bitcoin over the last since 2012. 2012 $15.
Well, I told you on the last episode last week that, hey, if you hold Bitcoin for 5 years, it's almost impossible to lose. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, even if you bought in 2021 at $52,634, right? 3 years later, you're in the black. 4 years later, you're feeling real good about your investment. So yeah, always just got to zoom out.
Yep.
Got if you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad month, just zoom out a little bit.
Or even a bad year. Just 5-10 year horizon always.
Yeah. Or just send me your seed phrases and I'll take care of your portfolio for you for a little while until you're feeling better. Ethereum inflows Still looking all right. Wrapping up the month of August. 13.5 billion in the black there. I think that's pretty good. And, last trading day there, a little bit of a rough day, but overall, I mean, absolutely beautiful month of August. September will open up tomorrow or later today. At Labor Day yesterday in the U.S., so markets will be back open here today. See what happens when they do. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin a little more rough, but still overall positive. Still an overall positive month here. A few more red days on there, but I mean, looking good. Looking good.
To be honest, like Bitcoin flows against Ethereum, like it has been the one that is dominating. Like just look at it.
Oh yeah, ETH is crushing right now. Absolutely. Yeah. But how long is that going to continue for? If we get a full bearish September and bearish open to October, do we get this bounce on the Bitcoin dominance and see alts and ETH bleeding a little more compared to Bitcoin? As does Bitcoin recover first and start pumping first as it traditionally has? I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Are we going to see Ethereum continue to hold up and be strong here?
Depends. I mean, we can look at the ETH Bitcoin chart and then see which one's breaking out first. But
I'm bullish on ETH still. I think there's so much momentum happening on ETH overall. And yesterday when I did some transactions, like the ETH fees were up again. I haven't seen that for a while. Like I have to actually top up ETH.
Yeah, where's our ETH Bitcoin chart here?
There we go. So, I mean, ETH Bitcoin looks a little bit bearish. I mean, we got double tops technically here. We got bearish divs, overbought conditions. We are sitting on a moving average support here right now. So, ideally we hold and we kind of reverse and consolidate here. We can kind of start going this way. Ideally, that's what we would like to see. But, we do have bearish signals now. So, be a little cautious.
All right. Well, I will be sure to pass the message on to Mr. Benjamin Cohen here. Tell him you just issued a challenge. You're calling him out, saying he's full of shit.
He is full of shit. That guy doesn't know shit.
Shots fired. Tune in.
I'm just kidding.
Tune in next week for special guest Benjamin Cohen. We'll go head to head with Andrew. In fact, I heard that they're going to be fighting in Dubai in December, and they're getting into the crypto fight night.
Oh God!
Bare knuckle boxing.
Time to start training, man.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it, boys. I'll fight all these KOLs. I'm fucking down. Fuck these influencers.
I think you could beat most. So I've been to. I'm trying to think who was with me. And that wasn't you. Someone, I can't remember who went with me last year at Token. Went to Crypto Fight Night, and the vast majority of the KOLs that get in there, again, props to them. Whether you're doing boxing or MMA, like you take some balls to get in the ring. But my God, are you guys bad at anything physical for the most part? Let alone trying to get in there and scrap. There was a few. Shiny D was a beast. There was one or two other guys that actually, could throw a punch. For the most part, it's like the average fucking drunk hillbilly you see at a bar fight in college is gonna do better in the ring. But it's pretty embarrassing. So, especially ones that are like, oh, I've been training for 9 months for this. Like this is what you could accomplish in 9 months. Like, dear Lord.
My God. Yeah. Do you remember Anson's fight? Fuck.
Brutal. Yeah. So even my boy Eric Crown, he did much better in the second fight, but the first fight, it's like, man, come on. Like the dude's athletic and jacked as fuck, but it was the boxing coordination wasn't quite there yet. Second fight he did much better. But anyways, this is the kind of stuff we like to see. I'm not necessarily the biggest Grant Cardone fan, but he has been a very big crypto proponent. But what I like to see is that he's putting his money where his mouth is, right? How many crypto influencers are out there that talk mad shit and instead are dumping on their followers or doing the opposite of what they're recommending people to do? Grant Cardone out here putting his money where his mouth is, selling one of this. It's not, no, don't get me wrong, this is not his only residence, right? It's not like he's selling his house and moving his family into a low rent apartment to buy Bitcoin. He's selling one of his many portfolio properties, but still, nonetheless, selling a very $43 million oceanfront Miami home and turn that in for Bitcoin. So love to see that kind of stuff. There's a few guys out there like him, Michael Saylor, obviously some of these big names that are out there, putting the work in. But shout out Grant Cardone. Actually,
I think this is the trend. What is happening at the moment? Like it used to be that, hey, buying houses, real estate was the safe way of building wealth. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. And like, obviously with Cardone, he has been one of the biggest real estate moguls in the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doing something like this, I think this is pretty bullish for BTC. But overall, like, who wouldn't want to have liquid gold in wherever he travels?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I've seen a lot of people speculating that the golden era of housing, at least until something changes with the current system, with BlackRock buying up all the properties, with the US dollar being a fiat shit ticket. The idea of just go out and invest in property and watch it go up. It's just not going to be the case anymore.
No, my house.
You gotta fight BlackRock for your house now. Chinese money launderers are moving billions through U.S. banks. Black market for U.S. cash may have driven as much as $312 billion in illicit money flows through financial institutions. Now, I don't know what the time frame is on that, but yeah, duh. You have guys like Jamie Dimon out there. And there's plenty of famous people out there just have called Bitcoin's a scam. It's for Gary Gensler was famous about this. People are using it for money laundering and buying drugs and human trafficking and blah blah blah. Yeah, on a scale, a minutia scale compared to the volume that people are doing the same thing and have been doing the same thing for the last 100 years. Well, since World War II, basically, with the U.S. dollar. So it's the pot calling the kettle black, right? This is a terrible excuse that's been circulated a million times. Bitcoin is for criminals. Bitcoin is for money laundering and drugs and blah blah blah. No, that's what the U.S. dollar is for. The Bitcoin, even the Secret Service, who monitors counterfeiting in the U.S., like they're in charge of a lot of financial crime, not just protecting the president and politicians. They have more than once come out and said, we love crypto. It's an amazing tool for us to track down people that are committing financial crimes. Like, it's an open, public, transparent blockchain ledger, like versus the dollar, which has all kinds of red tape, whether digitally or let alone if you're talking about bricks of actual cash. So I mean, these arguments are getting old. If you're new to this space, don't let these things deter you. If you're talking to your normie friends and they're like, Bitcoin is for criminals, it allows people to do this, that, and the other. It's like, well, no, this is privacy. The dollar is the primary funding for genocides, arms dealers, human traffickers, drug traffickers, etc., around the world, and has been. The reason that there's been such staunch opposition by the powers that be is because, that's exactly why. When they need to get stuff done, the good old dollar is the way they do it. It's a little harder with blockchain, and they don't want that encroaching in on their business. So I don't know. I just thought I'd rant about that for a little bit. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on this, but tired of seeing these kind of stories and people like Jamie Dimon out here. Bitcoin's for criminals.
Well, I'm glad you got it out.
Yeah.
No, but to be honest, like, I think all the regulation, all these like different KYC rules and overall, I do understand why we have them. I do understand like why we need them. But then again, like, you see headlines like this, and when banks are involved, like how are the KYCs and AML procedures helping this? Like, it's really not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like most of the rules, regulations, and authoritative bodies they put in place, like the SEC, do absolutely jack shit to actually stop any crime or provide any restitution to people that are affected by these crimes. Like when Goldman Sachs or J.P. Morgan, it gets sued for $4 billion by the SEC for financial crimes. Is that money going back to the people that lost that money or that they committed those crimes against? No. You never see a dime of that. It goes in the pockets of the SEC. SEC doesn't protect anybody. The regulations in place protect almost no one. When JP Morgan gets fined $4 billion for financial crimes, it's because they made 40 million. They'll take that trade every day of the week. It's not stopping shit. It's just enriching. It's just creating a barrier for the average person to restrict them from becoming more prosperous, while the people that can, commit these crimes at scale and make money off of it can continue to do so. So I don't know. I'm of the opinion that, as we continue to develop this industry, the regulatory restitution and compliance mechanisms that are brought into this are going to be best served by the people in Web3, in crypto, that understand the systems and can put things in place that actually protect and help people. The powers that be, the SEC, the U.S. government, have proven less than effective, I think we could say, if we were to put it nicely, at protecting anybody but themselves.
Yeah. Well.
So, but I mean, yeah, I know. That's why we're all here. All right, fun bit of I don't know, FUD, FOMO, some scary stuff. This is not the first time quantum computing has been brought up, but it's something that continues to come up time and time again. And most of the time, I think what's important to kind of look into here or dispel is two aspects. One, that it's going to your Bitcoin's at risk disproportionately to the US dollar or any other asset. And number two, what's the time frame in which we should actually be concerned about this? Horse, a pretty popular CT trader and account, alpha account out there, posted this question over the weekend. It was a slow news weekend, to be fair. Lots of different varied opinions coming in here, but a couple that I wanted to point out here. This one is, in my opinion, is the most important. This argument is relatively pointless. Yes, if quantum computing can come in and hack our current cryptography and get your Bitcoin, that would suck. We potentially, everybody could get drained. But it's also the infrastructure that provides everything in our society. Your bank account is just as vulnerable. The stock market is just as vulnerable. The nuclear codes are just as vulnerable. Your cell phone messages, the internet, telecoms, everything is just as vulnerable. This isn't a hack that's going to only expose Bitcoin and crypto and cause problems there. Like, life as we know it is fucked if this happens, right? So my personal opinion on it is, like, don't worry about it, because you got much bigger problems to deal with if this happens than your Bitcoin bag's being drained, right? Like,
yeah, it's not like you have any control over it anyways either. Like, you're battling against nations. Like there's a war right now with China and the US with the quantum stuff right now. And like, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, you can't do shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, unless you're ready to. Yeah, I mean, unless you're ready to go on full go Amish, or if you are Amish, like, you got nothing to worry about. Props to you. But yeah, unless you're ready to go off grid, live in the woods, like, every aspect of your life as you know it is going to be disrupted.
Yeah, you got to bury your gold in the backyard. That's all you got.
Exactly. So this is not an issue or a problem that is unique to blockchain or to crypto holders, but that's how it's always painted in the media. Oh, here's why Bitcoin's bad. Quantum computing is going to hack Bitcoin. Yeah, it's going to hack your fucking bank account too, dummy, and the stock market and everything else. So, like, stop trying to paint this as a Bitcoin problem or a crypto problem. It's certainly not unique to our industry.
Mm-hmm.
Another point I thought was interesting, did a little more research into, John Galt bringing up, the NSA, which invented SHA-256, no longer uses it because of quantum vulnerability. They've upgraded to quantum resistant cryptology. If it's no longer good enough for the NSA, that's a bad sign. If we were giving this a truth meter, it'd get a half true. So the NSA is actively converting into quantum resistant cryptology for their data records. but it's a 10-year rollout. They're not expecting to have it fully in place until 2035. So if they're not worried enough to expedite that process faster than 10 years, I think it tells us a little bit about what our timeline is. And it's not exclusively the NSA that's doing this. They are looking at ways to do this for Bitcoin and other blockchains as well to start creating things, adding the quantum resistant into blockchain. The safest place, in fact, most experts agree, for your funds, if quantum attacks happen, is not bank accounts, is not the stock market. It's actually blockchain technologies that are going to be more resistant and are more actively developing solutions to quantum proof themselves, whereas the archaic financial institutions that power the stock market and banks are going to be much, much slower to act and much more of a retroactive approach to this. In other words, you're much more at risk. And as much as I hate to say it, I got to give Mr. Cockering a little nod here. He apparently did 10 minutes of research with ChatGPT or Grok or something, and put together a nice little summary of kind of how this works. I'm not going to read through all of this here, but the long and the short of it is, with the current technology that we have, it's a fraction of a percent of what is needed to even begin to unravel, current blockchain cryptography. Estimates by the best people in the world. There's a paper done here by these fine fellows here. Estimate that we need 20 million logical qubits. Again, research what this is, go what a logical qubit is versus a physical qubit. But right now we don't even have logical qubits. We've got physical qubits, and IBM's most powerful computer is something they're hoping to get to 50 to 100 logical qubits by 2030 to 2025, which, again, a fraction of what they're going to need to go after this. He goes on to also explain some of the actual physical limitations of the material sciences that we have in terms of being able to actually compute that. There's the power resources that are needed for that. We already see major AI companies trying to get licensed to have their own nuclear plants just to power AI facilities. You would need something similar to power these type of quantum computers. And then there's the underlying fundamental physics that just simply under our current understanding of the physical laws of nature won't allow for this to happen. So obviously I'm not an expert. Mr. Cockering here is not an expert on this, but it's not something you should be worried about because nothing you can control. But on top of that, the technology is far, far, far from being even close to being a threat to blockchain, the banks, Wall Street, whatever. So anyways, interesting topic that I've seen come up time and time again. But if this is something that's been on your radar that keeps you up at night, it really shouldn't. If it wasn't something you even knew about and now it's going to keep you up at night, well, you're welcome, I guess. But anyways, I thought it was an interesting topic to go into. I don't know what you guys think about it. I don't know what the viewers think about it, but definitely something that caught my attention over the weekend.
I'm not too worried. Again, it's like out of my control. Like, what the fuck am I going to worry about?
I think the biggest thing with quantum computers is the electricity, right? Like there's a big electricity war now between US and China and other nations. And I think China is leading the way, actually. Like the capacity they have to actually do data mining, do computers and other things, they're way ahead. And I think US grid system is very old. But yeah, it's going to be interesting for the next 2-3 years what's going to happen. I have a lot of actually quantum physics, and I have also very much been studying this a lot, and I think this is not going to happen like at least for 4 or 5 years, but it is eventually gonna come. And once that comes, I mean, the breakthroughs in science is going to be absolutely crazy. So yeah, if you can try to stay alive, because there's going to be a lot of cures that are going to be basically gone. But yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting stuff. Obviously, they say red cells. People like to preach the doom and gloom side of things, but there's also amazing technological breakthroughs, in a lot of other areas that are very positive. I mean, as you mentioned, health wise, cures to many diseases, et cetera, et cetera. And that's something else that's I didn't mention, but that's covered in here. What they're talking about doing with current quantum threat is attacking the current systems that we have. they're already working on. This isn't just a purely offensive, technology that they're researching right now. They're also working on defense. How do we upgrade to make it so that that they can't hack this stuff? So there's things going on both sides. The offensive versus defensive battle has been going on since the dawn of time. Got a bow and arrow so I can shoot you. All right, well now I have a shield. All right, well I've got a crossbow that can go through your shield. All right, well now I've got better armor. Oh, now I have a gun. Like it's constant back and forth, and it has been throughout history. The same goes with technologies like this. So, but definitely some interesting stuff. If you have some hours you want to go into down a deep rabbit hole, there's some fun stuff out there on quantum computing right now.
Interesting. Yo, look up Jim Cramer's post, bro. He's bearish on September right now.
Uh-oh. Are we pumping in September then? Is that what's happening? September, seasonally weak. We have some inflation numbers, potentially tough labor numbers, but this presidency can defy any seasonality. So I wouldn't.
God damn,
I love that first meme. That first reply is so funny.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's actually bearish here. He's kind of neutral, saying, hey, traditionally, yes, but you never know what's going to happen. Not with Trump in office. Not with World Liberty Finance launching yesterday. Which, how did we not cover that? We'll have to cover that on Friday. It's a little too late to get into that now, but World Liberty Finance launched yesterday, and it's been pretty much exactly as predicted. So, come back Friday, and we'll chat about that.
Yeah, we'll see how the market holds up. Maybe it rallies.
Yeah. All right. One last thing to cover here before we go. We always like to talk a little bit about kind of our core bread and butter, OTC, M&A, and secondaries. Got a great new M&A project here to highlight. It's a top 10 crypto news media brand. These guys have been absolutely crushing it the last couple of years, especially this year. They've been really stepping up month over month gains. The trailing 12-month revenue, $6 million. Last month's revenue, almost $1 million in of itself. So I would imagine that TTM is going to continue to climb, and a very profitable business as well. Company size of 45 people. These are going to be competitors with your Cointelegraph, your CoinDesk, Decrypt, etc. This would be a fantastic acquisition for centralized exchanges. Other PR or news agencies out there, casinos that are looking to drive traffic. Anybody that has this is a great revenue stream in and of itself, but anybody that's looking to drive users to existing platforms, to other revenue mechanisms that you have within your ecosystem, you've got not only a profitable business here, but a ready-built advertising platform that you can plug and play right into your existing revenue streams and start moving users there. So if you want to see the full listing, head over to our website, acquire.fi. Check out the marketplace drop-down M&A mergers and acquisitions. And again, you can either search or scroll till you see top 10 crypto news media platform here. Really fantastic company. If it's something you want to see the full details on, connect with us. We'll get an NDA in place, and we can get across additional info for you to continue your DD before connecting you with the team there. Jan, Andrew, anything you want to add to this one?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect opportunity, either if you're a casino, either if you're a layer one, and you basically need to get some more coverage. I think overall this business, it's been running for a while. It's proven business, and it's in a sector where it's definitely growing. Overall, I think the news outlets out there are going to be growing during the years, and especially now when TradFi is coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Some quick stats for them. Website, massive SEO score with a domain authority of 75, 25 million plus monthly impressions, 4 minutes average time on site, 500,000 social media audience, 300 plus syndication sites, 75,000 Binance Square followers. Their top sessions are USA, UK, Germany, France, and Spain. So again, high value markets that they are targeting there. So really impressive company. Know the founder personally. Really solid dude. Built a great business that's going to continue to scale and could be a great asset for people out there looking. So that's our deal of the week for M&A.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all I had on the stories front. I think we covered markets. Anything else? Want to wrap up here? Everybody wish Jan some safe travels. He's going to be moving from Europe to Asia here, so safe travels, sir. Enjoy your flight. We got some big conferences coming up, KBW and Token. I believe, not 100% sure, but we are very, very close to locking in a sponsorship for 2 different side events, one in Korea if you're going to be there, and one at Token in Singapore. So definitely come check us out. We'd love to meet you guys face to face, chat deal flow, chat markets, shoot the shit, have a drink, whatever it may be. Always love to do get a face to face with clients, potential partners, and DGens and fanboys alike.
Sounds good. Yeah, see you guys either in Korea or Singapore. Peace out.
All right. See you on Friday.